Night boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You know, listen to the Mount Eminent Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? And right now, we're going to talk about why the fuck life is hard. That's right, why the fuck life is hard. Turn this goddamn heat off. Let me get the fuck out of here. But yeah, we're going to talk about why the fuck life is hard, because for the most part, the way I explain it, it might be perceived a lot more simple than y'all think it should be. So for the most part, when y'all hear me say certain things, you're going to be like, God damn, that sounds simple. Then why the fuck my life is hard? And then you're going to start to realize what the fuck is going on throughout this fucking video. So for the most part, why the fuck is life hard? Now, this is why the fuck life is hard. At the root cause of it, because we always got to talk about it from a 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional aspect, right? So, at the root cause of life being hard is motherfuckers thinking too goddamn much. See what I mean? Now, you probably thinking right now, like, oh, nah, it's something more than that, whatever like that. But you need to understand. Now, in the 3rd dimension, you have created a brain. And in this brain, it helps you be able to construct the realm of reality that you are in. So the brain is made off the realm of reality that you are in. That's why the brain kind of lightweight look like a physical cloud. You see what I'm saying? Because it was manifested from one of those light bodies that you was creating for yourself. To be aware of yourself. Your son or your daughter, whatever that you have. You know what I'm saying? The son of you. So for the most part, when you utilizing that energy in the 3rd dimension, as far as thinking, analyzing, putting together puzzles in your mind, in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, that is you utilizing light. That is you emitting light. That is you utilizing your masculine energy. You see what I'm saying? From a 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional aspect. So when you're thinking down here, utilizing your left brain, in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you are utilizing your masculine energy and you are emitting something. Now, based upon how much attention you are paying to that, that's how big that cloud going to be, how much light it's emitted, and how much attraction it's going to get, and how many other lesser lights going to pay attention to your light that you're making so big. You see what I'm saying? And if you're not vibrating that frequency a lot, aka not paying attention to that light, then it's going to be a small light, aka not even seen, an unseen planet, an unseen star in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. So your concept, or just you in general, going to be unseen, and it's going to play out in the 3rd dimension as you not getting a lot of attention for whatever's going on, if you're trying to do something. Or you just may be the type of person who like to stay hidden behind the scenes. You ain't going to have no problem with doing that if you ain't putting a lot of attention in something. You see what I'm saying? So you need to know, in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, anytime there's a lot of thinking being emitted, that is emitting light. Now, we know light, the more attention is being paid to something, the more dense it's going to be. And it can come into density and become shape and take a shape and form. Now, the first lightest shapes and forms could be concepts and ideas and shit like that, right? But the more attention that be paid to that shit, these dot forms can become physical. The more people pay attention to it, give it their own mini version of imagination, ideas and concepts and structure system, this light can become a reality. And that reality can become dense and can become a realm to the point that people experience as a life or being awakened. You know what I'm saying? So, here's why life is hard. Y'all need to sit back and think about how much things and how much thought is being put into these things that y'all are doing on a day-to-day basis. And remind you, sit back, if you watch a Flight Boss, Archangel Uriel, 9 times out of 10, you probably looking from an outside looking in your life in general, based upon the people, places, and things you are around, whether it's family and in general. And pay very close attention, right? Pay very close attention to the people who kicking that shit that life is hard. I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, these are the motherfuckers who are thinking hard. These is the motherfuckers who is thinking too much about their circumstance, situation, or whatever. So 9 times out of 10, that's why their life is hard. Because look, what makes something hard? What is hard? Concrete, solid. So earth is hard, because earth likes to nourish and curate the shape and form. So we're in a realm of stars that like to be hard. Whether it's emotionally, whether it's bringing their creativity into this world without caring about if it's being relatable to others. They're just trying to construct their own stability in some way. And in this world, that's what's light in this world. So the earth energy is carrying a heavy quality. But look, you need to understand this. You're in the motherfucking realm right now where, Hold on, what the fuck you about to do? Yeah. So, you're in a realm right now where Earth likes to take shape and motherfucking form, right? So, this shape and motherfucking form can become solid. So, but what created that? The idea, the imagination, the internal fire, the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional fire, right? So, if that what created it, right? You know you have obtained that or emitted that light based upon a thought process. So if you're in a realm of reality full of solid shit right now, you need to know that that came from a certain imagination or a thought process. So if so much thought have been put towards that imagination, it became solid. Now in the third dimension, what do you see as everything being hard? Solid shit. Even when you want to go to emotional wise to somebody, right? This is probably a person with a lot of earth in their chart or something like that, or a lot of air. They don't pertain to the water or fire, or you know what I'm saying, they're not dealing with the softer parts of this life, which is imagination or feelings and emotions and things of that nature. Look at these people, right? You look at them as cold, dry, hard, solid. A person who, what's the main reason you would call somebody solid or real? Right? Something that's real, something that really got manifested after a while. So now it could be a reality, as I explained it earlier. Right? That's what could be real. And then what's another reason you'll call somebody solid, right? A person who's going to do whatever they need to do, no matter the emotions and feelings or circumstances that's surrounding it, right? So that's what makes a person solid, right? So now take that into consideration. You need to take that into consideration now on how things is becoming solid, aka how things is becoming hard. It comes from thinking too goddamn hard. See what I'm saying? Thinking too goddamn hard. And so people look at super logical people or scientists or something like that, and look at their debates with religious people, right? They say a religious person is appealing to emotions and feelings, right? So this what makes a religious person hard to come across to an atheist or somebody to understand their point of view. So this what makes a religious person say, well, this is, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? So there's many different realms of realities to talk about hard. So think about how hardness is being manifested in general. Now take the consideration in your life, which will be the illusions, the people, places, and things that you're manifesting in your life. That's the illusion. But the energy signature is what you're experiencing, period. And if you are experiencing any hardness in your life, then I just broke down how hardness even get manifested. So you may be lost into an illusion, a person, place, or thing, based upon the memory, how long you've been attached to these people, places, and things, and then that created justifications or shortcuts, aka you justifying why you're doing certain things for this person, or why you're in a certain place, or why you buying or having a certain possession or thing. You see what I'm saying? You came up with a thought or an idea or a construct around this based upon the illusion you was wrapped in. So here's the thing. You had to think about that. See what I'm saying? So, boom, you created a shape and form in your space. You created a square in your circle. You created something in your circle, in your space, in your circumstance. So it's gonna take up room in your house. It's gonna take up room in your space. See what I'm saying? It's gonna take up room in your space. So you just can't walk through it. You have to go around it, especially if it's not a space with your space. So it's not just more space that y'all can have more room and more location. It's something in your space. So now every time you want to move to a certain room in your house, you trip and fall over something, or you got to go around something. You know what I'm saying? And you're not willing to throw that shit out in the trash. You're not willing to get that to somebody else who might need it. So for the most part, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, it becomes your little space that you're creating for yourself spiritually. It's hard for you to travel within that space. It's hard for you to move within that space. So it becomes hard. So in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, your rotation and spiral that's in your house that you're creating shapes and forms in the third dimension, it plays out as you creating harder living conditions, or you living hard. But in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, it's just hard for you to move around. But in the third dimension, you just manifesting a bunch of shit that you have to go around and that you're justifying should be in your life or shouldn't be in your life. And you have attached all these things to you based upon whatever the illusion that you're in. You know what I'm saying? And the illusion goes deep based upon this realm of reality that we are in. So you have to keep that in mind. So that's the root cause of why life is hard. Thinking too goddamn much. thinking too hard. So you need to lighten up. You need to get out your fucking feelings and stop, because your feelings ain't got nothing to do with your thoughts. But a lot of times y'all think too hard about y'all feelings. So y'all manifest y'all feelings into this realm of reality. So if you got fearful feelings, if you feel like your partner cheating kind of feelings, if you got hard, you feel like you the hardest person in the world kind of feelings, if you got you the most loving person in the world kind of feelings, and say you think about these things every day, you're going to start manifesting and constructing those circumstances and situations in your life. And the way that they come into your life may be positive, may be negative, but they're going to come through the illusion of the person, place, or thing that's in your life. So whatever your feelings and emotions, that's the world that you are in. That's the state of being that you are in. The moment you start overthinking about these things, you start manifesting it. So motherfuckers who are too much in goddamn fear, y'all manifest the goddamn fear that y'all in every goddamn day. Because y'all thinking too hard about that emotional state of being that you are in. So be careful with thinking too goddamn hard in this lifetime. Thinking too much is the reason why your fucking life is hard. And if you sit back and relax, and if you need to smoke an L from time to time to relax your motherfucking brain and stop making it do things that it's not here to do, your brain is not here to analyze and construct the future and the past. It's only here to analyze and experience what's actually going on right now, aka the goddamn present. And sometimes you might need to utilize your mind. You might need to utilize the past as a tool to help better construct your spaceship in the present, to help utilize what you want your future to be, so you can create it. Otherwise, your ass is lost in some type of illusion to think that your mind can change the past and your mind can motherfucking dictate what your future is going to be, or what you think somebody else is going to think, or how you think an outcome is going to become. Your ass is lost once you get into that goddamn shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Stop thinking too goddamn hard, and I guarantee slowly but surely your motherfucking life will start easing up. Now you need to think about all the things that you have manifested in your life so far, all the lights you have manifested so far, right? The more attention you pay to those things, the more amount of years, time, light years, lights, shapes and forms you put into it, that might be the same amount of energy you have to put into not thinking about these things again. But as long as you start to jump into that balanced warfare, you'll start to know what I'm talking about. And it's not going to become easy overnight, slowly but surely. It's like a percentage thing. You know what I'm saying? The more energy you put into not giving a fuck about it, might be today you not give a fuck about it 5%. Then the next month you might be able to not give a fuck about that shit 10%. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how much percentage you already put in that shit. You see what I'm saying? So keep that shit in mind. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air. About to go up in this motherfucking Walmart and shit. Yeah.